Hello, it's Scott Manley here, back with Elite Dangerous, and some big things have been going on in the Elite universe. Finally, the Thargoids have got really aggressive and started attacking stations. So as of last night, 3 different stations throughout in the Pleiades area were attacked, severely damaged, and they're basically requesting help to get refugees off these stations. Now, it should be noted, these 3 stations are all part of the Aegis group. They are the group that has been developing the anti-Thargoid technology, so it's understandable that the Thargoids might want to damage these things, take them offline. But many observers have pointed out that the main docking area, habitation area, appears to be pretty much intact. It's almost like the Thargoids perhaps made some decision not to inflict civilian casualties, instead making the stations useless to the scientists and the engineering projects that are behind the weapons that have been used against them. Of course, all this happened at downtime. There were no players on the scene. That wasn't an option. There was a YouTube video posted, which was basically supposed to be transmission from the station documenting the attack.
Permission granted. Hope you can make it out safely, Commander.
Well, of course I can. My docking skills aren't that rusty. But they're not really talking about the docking issues. As we come in, we can actually start to see there is some damage to the docking area. Quite a lot. And the inside is an ominous orange colour. And the toaster rack has been torn apart, which is a shame because you could actually put giant pieces of toast in there and cook them with the massive amount of heat which is inside.
Commander, we're advising all pilots to stay well clear of damaged structures. We're seeing multiple explosions in the inner dock.
Yeah, there's a ton of debris bouncing around, there's explosions, and the heat is rising. So I've got my heatsink ready to go, but hoping I can get down before then. Whoa, it's just like Blade Runner here with big fiery things shooting up. I'm taking heat damage, but I'm also getting into the dock. Whew. Okay, now time to pick up some passengers.
Contact. We're on borrowed time here, Commander. Don't stay here any longer than you have to.
So yeah, the people in charge of the station, they're all wearing helmets, but because of the way the game works, it's now boom time in these systems because of all the players running missions. So yeah, the commanders cheerfully acknowledge, hey, it's boom time, now's a good time to be doing missions and things like that. So yeah, you run over to the passenger terminal, and hopefully you have some passenger cabins. I had to get some fitted before I came out this way. Yeah, we get a lot of glitches on all these displays because clearly, I don't know, I'm guessing it's leftover Thargoid energy or just the amount of energy being released is messing with my electronics. Yeah, all you've got is wall-to-wall missions here to pick people up and carry them away. Early on, there were some issues with people not being able to pick up stuff because they didn't have enough faction reputation. That would be like Luke Skywalker running in and saying, hey, I'm here to rescue you, Princess Leia, and she's like, I don't know you. I'm not going with you. I'm staying in my cell. That has, of course, been fixed. Now, on the way back out, my spacecraft is already overheating. Ooh, wow, that looks like stuff burning up there. Oh, look at the stuff bouncing around the interior here. That's cool. That is actually pretty cool.
Ship restraints withdrawn. Get out while you still can, Commander.
I am, and watch the heatsink. Any minute now. There it goes. That'll, of course, bounce around the inside of this like a white hot ball bearing in a washing machine. Actually, come to think of it, that could be an entire YouTube channel these days, couldn't it? What happens when you put a red-hot ball bearing in a washing machine with a steak? Find out. What happens if you put a model of a spaceship in a washing machine with a red-hot ball bearing? And so on and so forth. Now, all the passengers want to go to the same place. There's a rescue ship nearby. This one's 5,000 kilometers away. The other ones are much closer. It's worth noting that I actually turned off a lot of my modules to help with the heat stuff to avoid damaging the spacecraft. It literally cost me like 200,000 credits the first time I did it because so much heat damage was taken. I guess I normally don't worry about heat because I tend to be building explorer type vessels or whatever. Whereas this thing, yeah, when it gets hot, it really gets hot and it takes damage. But it's a short hop. And here we go, the rescue ship, the Lehman Legacy. Actually, no, this is the... I don't know what this rescue ship is called, but it's the rescue ship for the Lehman Legacy. They should have come up with some cool names for them. Anyway, all this is, of course, part of the 2.4 expansion, where it's all stories related to the Thargoids. The Thargoids mostly have stuck to their, their signal sites, unidentified signal sites. So you go in, you meet a Thargoid, you can run away, usually. But if you want, if you've equipped the experimental weapons you have unlocked through community goals, you can try fighting these things. So yeah, if you look at the galaxy map, that is the symbol for the damaged starports. They have issued a warning that these things should not be checked. Also worth noticing that this starport, Titan's Daughter, is around a gas giant with ammonia-based life. That somehow seems familiar. We've also seen more than one variant of the Thargoids, and a new type has just appeared, the Medusa class, which now scores a threat of 7. Previously, I think they were all threat 6. This one is big, red, scary, and spiky. And if we watch this as we come in here, because I was going radial outwards, you can actually see the shadow of my spacecraft on it, so you can see how big it is compared to my mighty Anaconda. I don't know if you saw the video from Frontier Expo, but that alien sound is actually an oboe or something which has been pitched down. Whatever it is, once again, mad props to the sound design team for making things sound great. Whoever designed the Thargoids as well, it's really cool the way these look distinctive. It's like they have their own feature set, their own language which we can decode if you investigate enough of them. Yeah, this one has a lot more spiky bits, and these are the ones which are apparently attacking the stations. So yeah, there's Cyclops, Basilisk, and now Medusa. And yeah, you need the special experimental weapons, and almost certainly you need some friends. This is very much content designed for wings of players rather than individual players. And he's gone. So that was a small sidestep on my way to the second of the star bases. You can go in there as often as you like and spam a bunch of missions if you want to. If you just want to do it for, faction reputation. So the Oracle is the station which is featured in the trailer, the little snippet that's on YouTube. You can actually see the damage sort of corresponds to what you see in the video.
Commander, you're through to flight control. This station is undergoing emergency evac procedures. Do not request docking unless you intend to rescue survivors.
Okay, so yeah, when you get close to this, it messes up your instruments. I'm not sure if this is because of some sort of residual Thargoid energy, or simply because this is some super high-tech, high-density energy source which is messing with your spacecraft's science and readings and probably irradiating me and making me sterile. But that's fine because, I am married to my spaceship and we can't make babies. I mean, I guess technically the Anaconda can launch a space fighter, so it's kind of like having a baby, right? No? It does also mean that my Anaconda is female. But yeah, that looks like some sort of tokamak arrangement there. I don't know if they go into detail on what kind of power sources are in the Elite Dangerous universe, but that actually looks kind of cool that they modelled the interior of this power generator component. I'm wondering if the other stations, the undamaged stations, have those internals. Look, green stuff everywhere, torn up stuff there. I'm going to point out, yeah, fire in space doesn't work like that. Fire in space is hard. Basically, it expands out in all directions, and there's no turbulence that makes the fiery, I don't know how you describe that, the licking flames is because of turbulence as it moves through the atmosphere. In space, there's none of that, it just kind of spreads out. Of course, maybe it's Thargoid flame.
Copy that, Commander. We've assigned a landing pad for you. Be careful.
I will be careful, because no doubt the consequences for getting stuck in the toaster rack is just as bad as usual as a regular toaster rack. High temperatures ahead! Let's get in there, shut things down. Lots of flashing red lights. Okay, there we go, restricted number 24, so I gotta flip around, get myself down there, hopefully not get explodified. Are those red lights emergency lights, or are they like some sort of weird internal heatsink? Oh, ow, what the heck was that? Oh, warning, landing gear. Gotta put it down. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get the heatsink deployed, thank you. A moment's respite against the fiery heat of the exterior. There it goes again. It's gonna bounce around like a white hot marble in a washing machine. Or actually more like a tumble dryer. Okay, now we land. It's gonna put us into the docking bay as quickly as possible.
We're taking your ship directly into the hangar, Commander. Note, this is a standard emergency procedure.
Honestly, I kinda like that procedure since we have to do the turnaround anyway. You're crazy to fly here, but we're having boom times. Everybody's happy. Economic activity is at an all-time high as refugees try to buy their way out with whatever they can barter. Also, gotta say, I like your black lipstick and the red background. It really makes you look like you're some kind of mistress of hell. I also find it interesting that despite everything being on fire, I do have access to the ship fitting. So anyway, the final station is Titan's Daughter. I'm just, this is actually after my second load. I did a live stream where I was investigating this. It is an interesting looking ship there. So Titan's Daughter is sitting in the ring system, so it's kind of surrounded by a lot of rocks, which is kind of cool. It's not an asteroid station, it's a regular Coriolis station, and stuff is just on fire. It's been beaten. Maybe they're gonna, I don't know what they're gonna do, but man, it can't be good to leave the space station in that status. I suspect that if we take all the people off, the Thargoids will come back and they will finish the job. But if it's any consolation, yeah, Titan's Daughter does win the prize for best looking dead space station. I'm not sure that's a prize you ever want to win, but being, you know, near a blue star, being in rings, is pretty awesome. Anyway, as far as I know, there's no like community goals or anything related to this. They're just a special location where you can pick up tons of refugee missions and transport them a few thousand kilometers away. So, you know, if you need to get whoa, what the heck was that? So yeah, if you want to get some reputation, faction reputation, it's not great for money, but it's great for running lots of missions very, very quickly, since you just run in and pick them all up and then dump them down. And then return them to these beautiful spaceport ship type things, which also will have fittings so you can tweak around with your spacecraft setups. Now anyway, you might remember I was at the Frontier Expo, and Frontier Expo, they gave out some special codes for paint jobs and stuff. This is the Frontier Expo paint job. Look, or at least the 2017 version. It's white and gold. Those scratches on the wing are in the Halloween decal pack. But look at this. This was my Troniconda. That's the Black Friday. And then it was like, oh yeah, here we go. That's the Frontier Expo 2017. It also came with some nice Frontier Expo decals, but best of all, it comes with a bunch of new bobbleheads. Okay, so you get the Commander Braben. If you want to have Dave on your dash, this is, well, You should have probably come to Frontier Expo or bought the early Dave. Anyway, Elite Dangerous, yeah, continuing to divide audiences, but I still love it. I'm Scott Manley. Fly safe.